Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. Today I'm back with another Starcraft 2 1 versus 1 replay cast. If you're not a Terran, if you're not a Zerg, so in other words, if you're a Protoss player on this channel, I am sorry. All I've been casting is Terrans or Zerg matches really lately. But when you have two players who've played 3 matches and they've each won one, you just have to cast the last one. I'm actually not sure who takes this series. So it's actually going to be good to see who can, as this is a replay from the WESG, the World Electronic Cyber Games, Sports Games, one of the two. So anyway, we have the Blue Zerg spawning down the bottom right-hand side, Nerchio, playing for Euronics Gaming, and also sponsored by Red Bull. Just a solid player, so very deserving of that team and sponsorship. MarineLord, the Red Terran, spawning in the top left-hand side. So, we see a gas first from MarineLord this game, I believe. Yeah, I believe that was a gas first timing. So MarineLord likely going to be wanting to go for a fast factory here. Maybe some fast aggression, possibly with things like just a drop, maybe Hellbats. Could be anything like that. Nerchio, on the other hand, opened up with a fast spawning pool here. So these two builds are going to clash. The map is Echo, by the way. So, it's hard to say. Echo can go both ways as far as this map goes, as if you look, it's not a far distance at all for pressure. Players can just push across the map very, very easily. So if it gets to sort of the later stage of the game, the Terran player is playing bio, it's basically a stone's throw away to the Zerg's base. So a Terran player who wants to parade push, that can go very well. But say if a Terran player makes a mistake on this map, if a Zerg decides to go for an attack, it's not a long distance. And speaking of an attack here, we see Nerchio opening up with a Roach Warren here. Well, a Roach Warren after his quick spawning pool. So this is the build of choice. Nerchio wanting to take this game with some fast aggression. We see MarineLord opened up with a Reaper here. The classic Toolings moving out for the Zerg player. Well, not really classic, but sort of new. Toolings moving out, gonna harass the Terran player, preventing him from getting this CC up very quickly. And this is important because if that CC is delayed, then MarineLord is going to be in a lot of trouble when these Roaches and Ravagers move across the map. No Roaches are out just yet, but they're going to be popping soon. We see the SCV mining time being delayed here. It's being forced to run away. MarineLord, very quick timing though. He didn't go for a Marine or anything else to defend this SCV. But he actually, sorry, getting a bit tongue-tied here, but he actually pulled back that Reaper instantly. Like, he saw the timing of the natural base, he knew something was up, and he pulled the Reaper back. That's what a Terran player needs to do, so the delay isn't too big. Now, as a result, though, MarineLord had to pull back, but he lost. He didn't scout, he's not aware of these Roaches and Ravagers, and now he's going to see one, so he's going to be forced to pull back, and instantly he cancels, well, he finishes those 2 Hellions and he starts a Cyclone. Cyclone is a fantastic tool for Terran. It's a unit that recently got revamped. It can now be built off reactors, and this is what Terran players who are getting Ravager rushed all over are grateful for this unit right now. As basically what the Ravager does, the Cyclone does, it can be repaired, it has a high damage output, it's very tanky, and it is effective versus Roaches and Ravagers. Now, the problem for MarineLord here, though, right now, is that this reactor is actually going to be cancelled, but he does get out that 1 extra Cyclone in time, so it's not a worry. And now this 1 Cyclone is going to help. It's going to be able to push back these 2 units. Well, these units, he's actually going to kill off one of the Ravagers, and this is going to be a great hold for MarineLord here. These 2 Cyclones he got out. He opened up with the reactor and he instantly saw them once he identified it. Had enough time here. And Nerchio didn't commit heavily to this. It's not like he was rallying more and more Roaches across the map. Ooh, eating a Corrosive Island, it actually kills 1 Cyclone there. A bit of a mistake from MarineLord, as this 1 Ravager was certainly dead meat, but Nerchio getting some value out of it. Killing that Cyclone, actually a big deal here. Then we see a Viking on the way for MarineLord. He really likes this to be able to clean up Overlords. Nerchio being a bit more cautious with his Overlords, most of them staying a bit back. And now we actually see, if you watched the last game, which is on my channel as well, you'd have seen that MarineLord went for a Raven in his opening. He wanted to harass with those Ravens And he followed it up with a Sky Mech, so he could very well be seeing a Sky Mech again, but no, this time he's actually just going to open up with a Raven, go onto Bio here. This could be a bit of a mind game, as it could make Nerchio think that there's going to be mech when really there's not. MarineLord going for a quick third CC with Bio is a bit risky here, so it would be good to see him throw up some more racks as soon as he can, but Nerchio supply blocked this one Viking doing its job. We see the Hellions and Cyclone pushing. They can try and delay a bit of creep, but he needs to be careful for Lings and things which can get on top of this army. The Cyclone weak, one of the Hellions weak. And now we actually see, though, this Viking has found yet another Overlord, so this is going to supply block Nerchio again. Nerchio having a very bad time right now. An Overlord finishes just in time to stop the supply block, but this is costing him money. But we see Lings go for a counterattack on this side of the map. They're going to be able to get on top of the Marines. There's no wall up into the main base, so this is massive for Nerchio here, and he's actually starting to kill off SCVs. MarineLord pulled SCVs to fight, but these are SCVs that were pulled to die. SCV is starting to go down for MarineLord. A good position, turning bad here. He's trying to micro versus these Lings with SCVs, but any fighting with SCVs is far from optimal. The Reapers and Hellions come back at the end, but that was certainly too late. The bio count reduced to 0, and now Nerchio is ahead on workers by a good amount. Sure, Nerchio is not like super economic focus right now. He's pumping out drones, though, as he didn't commit too much to that early rush, so he's finding his economic footing, whereas MarineLord just took a step back. He also scouted the third CC there, so he's aware of what sort of state this game is in. We see 1-1 on the way at the engineering bay. Very effective for MarineLord. His units will be, as he's gonna sort of have a good window versus Nerchio. Nerchio is committing to this Roach Ravager, but he's going for Lings as well. So this is indicating that he's gonna commit to Roaches to Lings to defend, Roach Ravager Ling to defend the aggression coming out here. But he's gonna want to go to Lings later on. And I'm saying that because he's only got one Evo on the way right now. Well, he's got 2 Evos, but only 1 upgrade on the way. It's most likely he'll go for melee upgrades, so then he'll be able to tech into Ultras later on in this game. We see an Overseer moving across the map, just darting across, just making a run for it. The Viking did go down, so no more Overseers or anything going to be picked off there. I believe that was the Cyclone making a mad dash in. Or no, I'm actually not sure what unit that was that ran in. It might have been the Raven going down, which would have been very costly. But still 2 Ravens there for MarineLord. Ah, just an auto turret. Okay. So we have these Hellions and Cyclone just pushing forward. One of those Hellions does get picked off. These Roaches for Nerchio. I mean, it was never a large commitment to these units from MarineLord, just enough for map presence, and he's certainly been getting that value in map presence, as he's been on Nerchio's side of the map for a large portion of this game. And look at this. Nerchio knows the Viking is dead. He's just spreading these Overlords to shut down any drops. This indicates that Nerchio is going to be expanding right. Zerg players do prefer the right expansion. MarineLord is going to see that this is going down, though. If he was paying attention, he'd have caught a glimpse of this. And this is actually going to be a push out of MarineLord here. He's got Bio, he's got 2 tanks, most importantly. Does he have an armory, though? That's the real question. Yes, he does, so he will be able to transform these into Hellbats, too, if he chooses. And here we go. This is going to be quite an attack. It's going to be very tough for Nerchio to hold this 4th base, and I think it's just going to be forfeit right away here. The 2 tanks sieging up a little bit in the back, so MarineLord's going to have to push back. Full pullback. And this 4th base for Nerchio is actually killed, not cancelled. Nerchio immediately has thrown up another base over here. I believe he actually started that before the one on the right there, so good timing for Nerchio. He's not out by all means. That pickoff was sort of nullified a bit by having an extra expansion, by having a backup. We saw a Raven move in, going for more harassment. No Spire on the way for Nerchio, so these Ravens can always be coming in for this harassment, just focusing drones. And he's actually killed a large amount of drones this game. He's killed 24, a large portion from this harassment here. Very well done by MarineLord. Keeping Nerchio on his toes. MarineLord, now he's a happy Terran. He's got his production on the way. He's going to be able to produce a large amount of units. He's got his 3rd base up, even another wall. He wants to be safe from these run-bys here. We see Nerchio pushed out a little bit, but he can't push any further. This bio is actually looking very, very scary. It's going to have 2-2 far before Nerchio has his 2-2. Nerchio will have +2 Carapace before that, but once 2-2 hits, MarineLord's army will be very strong. We see Infestors are out, so there is going to be fungal growth, which is going to be very, very scary. We actually see a great fungal going down, catching a siege tank, and a large portion of the bio. The tank does survive, though, so that's very nice for MarineLord. MarineLord down on supply, but this 4th base for Nerchio is not saturated at all here. So the economic advantage is going to MarineLord right now. MarineLord's pushing in. He's not caring about these fungals. He's just eating them. 3 tanks sieging up the back a little bit. Siege too far forward. Ling is coming in for a surround here, but the tanks just obliterate them. But the whole army is now moving forward for Nerchio. It's getting on top of these siege tanks. And MarineLord is going to be pushed back here. Not the greatest fight for MarineLord. Army supply, though, is evening up. And keep in mind that is roach supply for Nerchio. I feel as if ever since Legacy of the Void, it hasn't been emphasized as much, as roaches have had more value, as Zerg players have sort of figured out how to use them better. They've made use of the Ravagers, so the bloated supply isn't as big of an issue as it once was for Zerg players, but MarineLord's army is quite scary. He's going for a drop, but he needs to get out of there right away. He doesn't want to get fungled on this Medivac. Nerchio chasing after it, but I mean, he's not really paying attention. He's just clicked on that Medivac. A fungal actually baited out by MarineLord. Very well done there. And now we see another drop moving out from MarineLord. He wreaked havoc with these drops on Nerchio. I believe in the first game that I cast between these two, were these 2 Ravens cleaned up? Yes, they were. I'm not actually sure what happened to those, as nothing could have really killed them. I guess the Queen has just focused them down. Now we see Ultralisks are going to be on the way for Nerchio. He's got adrenal glands for his units. He's got +3 armor on the way, and once he starts tightness plating, these ultras will be very, very scary. We see a drop hitting for MarineLord. He's pushing onto the 5th base, 4th or 5th for Nerchio, whatever you want to call it, but there's a drop in the natural. These units are actually going to be able to clean up these lings, it looks like, so more damage. Nerchio having to pull back into the main base, having to pull back into his natural, and he loses the 4th base. But there is a counterattack from Nerchio here. A few roaches and lings. That's sort of an odd counterattack here, but the lings do burrow right away. MarineLord is going to need to scan to clean them up. He does, so he's not caught off guard or anything by that. MarineLord also secured a 4th base during all this chaos here. It looks like MarineLord is a bit short on Medivac, so he's sort of committed a fair few to those drops, so there's not that many with this army here. But that was a great trade for MarineLord. He's now taken the supply lead, but the first Ultra is on the way. Well, never mind, make that the first 3 Ultras are now on the way. One of them just popped. Oh, but another massive Ling attack moving in. MarineLord has all these walls, but they're all down in. The units are just running by. They're running into the natural. SCVs are oversaturated there, and Nerchio's just going to bury them behind his base. 3rd base being attacked as well here. All those lings are going to get cleaned up. Needs to scan, does MarineLord? He does, so he will clean up all those lings, but I believe MarineLord is going to need to go for one strong push, but Nerchio's actually sort of out with just a portion of his army, but fantastic fungal growths go down on this army of MarineLord. MarineLord's going to need to stim in here, get on top of his army before it can join together with the rest of it. So some of these Ravagers are going to go down. Expensive losses for Nerchio, but that was a fantastic fungal. We see another drop moving in from MarineLord, just starting to shoot at these Evo chambers. While Nerchio has most of his upgrades, he's going to want, he's really only going to need one of these Evos for his plus melee attack. Anyway, we now see MarineLord moving in for an attack. These Ultras do not have tightness plating. I believe Nerchio hasn't upgraded that yet. This bio is going to be picked off and pushed away, though Nerchio's transitioning into this scary Ultra Infestor Zergling. These Zerglings have very strong upgrades. And now MarineLord is going to sort of need to conjoin his forces. He's just sort of pulling everything back. He's going to go for drops now. Try and shut down this 5th base once again. Nerchio's on a low worker count. MarineLord is also on a low worker count, but he does have mules, so that is a plus for him. But the 3rd base, it's not necessarily starting to mine out. It would be good for better saturation on that for MarineLord, but for now he's busy. He's trying to go for drops. He's trying to hit Nerchio everywhere. Denying creep, killing off these creep queens is actually really important at this stage of the game. Preventing any more creep spread. This is so many tumors that are all going to go down. These units are going to pick up and get out of there. No Spire on the way for Nerchio just yet. Speaking of upgrades, +3, +2 for MarineLord. He never got that extra armor upgrade, so his units will be a little more squishy, but he does have the +3 attack, which is really the most important one. Now we see Nerchio is moving in. He's got 3 Ultralisks and maybe 10 Ravagers. A bit of an odd army here. and it's actually one that could be kited by the bio decently. More infestors joining up with this army though, so that changes the sort of way that a fight's going to play out completely. Another drop moving in for MarineLord, but this army is so many lings are here to clean this up right away. Centrifugal hooks on the way, so Nerchio might want to go for banelings at some point in this game, and now we actually see this third base is going to come under fire. MarineLord can see these rocks being broken down, but he's not reacting, he's not aware of it, he's busy dropping. Nerchio just going to pull back after breaking down this rock. He's not going to go in. A good drop harassment for MarineLord, finally getting in here with some damage. But these medivacs are very weak, so he's going to need to be careful when retreating. What is with MarineLord and weak medivacs here? Actually going to be able to move and cancel this 5th base likely yet again. This is huge, but Nerchio finally fed up, going for an actual 6th base. I believe that 6th base, that looks like, is that off position a tiny bit? Like that's supposed to be over. Don't quote me if I'm wrong. We're going to have to see whether that's on position. But I believe it's off position just a little bit. We can sort of see MarineLords. Yeah, sort of on the center there. I think that's a bit of a mistake from Nerchio, but regardless, there's so much going on for these two players. MarineLord needs to lift his own CC, as that's going to go down the main base that was floated over. Oh, he actually might be able to save it, but no, it burns down, lifting it off just for it to die a fiery death there. Another CC, though, was built by MarineLord, though, so he will have another base he'll be able to secure. He will need to clean up this Overlord, though. Nerchio spreading creep on it. Now this game is sort of going into the macro stage. MarineLord's producing Ghost. He doesn't have Cloak for them though. That is always a good upgrade to get. But both of these players are sort of running a bit low on economy. It's not like they're at a super high economic stage. MarineLord's got one Marine that's being killed by drones. I guess that was a drop that just got cleaned up. And now we see Nerchio's moving in for a fight. Liberators are out of position and GG gets called. That was very sudden. MarineLord was setting up for this long game, but his Liberators were out of position. His Ghosts were sort of caught out. All of his army was pulled out. Nerchio just started to pull back there. But MarineLord, I guess, felt he was in a very bad situation, and to be truthful, he was, as a lot of his bio had been cleaned up. So, if you guys have enjoyed the cast, I think the consensus is that base was a little bit off. I mean, I don't know why I'm obsessing over this much. It's just... regardless, if you guys enjoyed the cast, feel free to leave a like. If you have any cast and feedback, feel free to let me know. Otherwise, I shall see you next time, and I hope you guys enjoyed this sort of best of 3 on the channel between Nerchio and MarineLord. MarineLord, a player, he's actually now retired, as the WESG was his last tournament, so I guess good luck for him with whatever he does next. But I shall see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.